Let's go back a step again. Waiting lists. I love this concept when you explained it on Stephen Bartlett's podcast. So we've done all this cold calling, and we think we've got an idea. Talk me through this idea of waiting lists, because I actually love it.
Yeah. So for the first part, I would never ever message someone and ask them to buy something, right? That I think is a bridge too far. So we have to ask them to do something that is a minimal effort step. So if I was to say to you, hey, I've got this interesting software that we're launching. It's going to be, £50 a month. Here's the link to sign up. That's not going to work. But if I said to you, we've got this software that we're launching, it's going to do this, this, and this. It's not ready yet, but join the waiting list, and I'll send you all the information as soon as it's ready, and I'll give you some free codes as soon as they're available so you can try it out. If you're interested in X, Y, and Z, then join the waiting list. That is a really powerful thing, because people only have to be slightly interested in order to join a waiting list. They have to be very, very, very interested in order to buy something. So if you were to basically say that people buy things when they feel at least 90% sure, people join waiting lists when they feel 10% sure, that means that you're just going to get a lot of people who kind of signal that they're somewhat interested in what you do. And that way you've got an opportunity to work with them and warm them up. You've also got an opportunity to create something called demand and supply tension. So let's say I can get 1,000 people onto a waiting list for a new product, but there's only going to be 100 of them available to begin with. I can say we've got 1,000 people on the waiting list, but we only have 100 test beta users available. So if you'd like to join, be one of the first 100, that creates a little bit of an oomph. A little bit of a rush to the exit. So it's a good way to do it. So I see, for example, businesses that want to make a change in the business, and they do it in secret behind closed doors. They don't tell anyone they're making this change. So let's just take a very traditional business. You say, we've got a dry cleaning business, and they think of opening a second location, and they kind of go and look at all the sites, and they try and negotiate leases and all of that sort of stuff. Only once they've got all of that stuff ready do they then tell people, oh, we're opening. I would say as soon as you know you're going to do a second site, start promoting in 3 different areas and saying, we're looking at creating a new dry cleaning service in this area. If you would like to be one of our first customers, join the registration of interest or join the waiting list, and we'll give you some vouchers to come in and try our service for the first time once we open. And then let's say you did a waiting list for 3 different locations. You now know which location's hottest. You now know you can now basically get people to signal their interest and find out which location gets the most people for the same amount of effort. When people join a waiting list, I always ask them to answer at least 4 or 5 questions as well. I'm collecting data. So I might say, what price point or which features are you interested in? I might say, what are you hoping to achieve? What have you tried that didn't work? So I'm asking some questions. I'm always asking questions when people join, because I want that data so I can make a better product choice.
Again, it sounds so simple. You're actually saying to people, tell me what you want, and then I'll go away and build it, rather than building it and going, ta-da, look what I've built. And it's interesting, actually, because I regularly talk at schools and sixth forms and things like that. And after they've said, when they do questions, after they've said, what car do you drive? How much was your watch? How much did you sell your business for? When we get past those, it's often, what business should I go into? Should I do Bitcoin or day trading or something they've seen, something like that. And I always say, find a problem and then find a solution to it, and then find out if people are willing to pay for it, and find out if they're willing to pay for it on a regular basis. Yeah. Then go away and build it. And you can see them you can see their eyes going, oh shit, that sounds like hard work. I want to do Bitcoin or be an influencer. I just want to buy a Bitcoin.
Just want to buy a Bitcoin and then be done with it. The funny thing is, the easiest way to make millions is to just follow this formula. This formula has worked for me over and over and over again. I build multi-million pound business after multi-million pound business because I ask people what they want and I build for them what they want. I only build stuff if we've got thousands of people who want it. And if we don't, we kill the idea pretty quickly. If they want it in blue, we build it in blue. If they want it in purple, we build it in purple. Whatever's important, we build what the customer wants. There's no great secret to how multi-million-pound businesses work. They create something that a customer wants and they sell it over and over and over again. And customers, because it ticks the boxes, customers buy it again and again. And if enough people do that, you've got yourself a pretty decent business.